Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Green World is Possible. It's an online candidate forum. I'm very happy to announce that we have some great candidates here to introduce you to. I'm just going to go around and just get everyone announce themselves, give themselves a 1 to 2 minute opening statement. Then we're going to go into a round of questions and answers, and we'll see how time works out. Maybe we'll get several questions so we find out about all these great candidates and why they're running, what inspired them to be Greens and run for office as a Green, and what they hope to do when they get elected.
Hi, I'm Randy Paul from Indiana, running for county commissioner in Monroe County. Probably the best known place in Monroe County is Bloomington, home of the IU Hoosiers. At least we used to be known for our basketball. Not so much anymore. I've been in politics, literally my entire life. My recent memories, going back so far as campaigning, handing out literature for Barry Goldwater when I was in first grade. And then when I got to second grade and could read a little bit more, I became a Democrat for the next 45 years. And I left the Democratic Party August of last year because I had grown to the point where I was tired of helping candidates get elected, particularly on green values. And then when it came time to vote those values, they found a reason not to. And then I became a grandfather, and I have 3 grandkids and one on the way around Thanksgiving. And I just can't look them in the eyes any longer and say, what we're doing is sufficient. We are going to hand them a planet that's going to burn itself up if we don't do something. And I'm tired of working with the Democrats where they're saying, we need to reduce car usage in Monroe County. And then this last fiscal year approved $100 million more in parking. So yeah, let's get you out of your cars. But by the way, if you're in your cars, we're going to make it really easy for you to park. It's those inconsistencies that make me believe that with the Democrats on the Green New Deal, for example, I think if they get hold of it, by the time it gets a hearing and gets through Congress at all, if it does, it'll be watered down so much it won't save a garden, much less the planet. And so I went to the Green Party and I formed it. I'm the co-chair of it locally. I'm the secretary for the state board. And my goal was to make the Green Party a viable party in Monroe County first. We're dominated by Democrats, have been for years. There's only really one party, and that's the Democrats. And if you ever see one party control over a period of time, and you pay attention to it, you see just how dangerous it is. And I can give you a recent example where the county commissioners, there are 3 members to it. The 3 members asked for a 70% increase in their salary this year. And when I say that, people look at me saying, did he say 7? And no, I'm saying 70%. During a pandemic, they've asked for that kind of pay raise. The body that has to approve it is the fiscal body, the county council. I think they realized how politically damaging it was, and so they decided to put down what they call a down payment and gave them a 25% increase. When the rest of the employees around the county are looking at maybe 1.5% or 2%, people are losing their jobs, people are losing their homes. It's the point where they're so clearly out of touch. But there was no opposition party. There was nobody there to say no. And so it's been approved. And so what we're asking the county to do, and what I'm asking them to do, is trust me, trust the Green Party to put one opposition member in the entire government that will speak out on these issues, say no when no needs to be said, and talk about issues that the Democrats aren't going to want to talk about. So they're not going to talk about the fact that they approved $100 billion in parking. I mean, why would they? But I'm out there right now as a candidate, and I'm bringing it up every day. And so when I was recruiting for people to run in 2020, I had 4 or 5 people that were going to run with different offices with me. And by the time January had rolled around, they all pulled back saying, but Randy, we can't win. You're not going to win as a third-party candidate in Indiana. And my purpose for running, and what I was trying to convince, and hopefully if we do well, it will be an easier sell, is I'm not running on the idea that I have to win to make something good come out of this. I've got a microphone. I've got a platform. I'm talking about the Green New Deal every day. I'm asking tough questions that haven't been asked in the past. And what I'm hoping is that if we do well enough this year, it will encourage others to join me and try to make this Green Party in Indiana a viable one. I don't want to be a flash in the pan and do well one year and not the next. And we have a really tough road ahead of us because of the pandemic, we had to come in as a write-in candidate, which makes it even more difficult. People have to remember my name and my office. But I think with some help, we might be able to pull it off.
And I wanted to know if you could share experiences on your current campaign, because now we're campaigning during a time of COVID. You can't. It's not as easy to go out and get out the vote and shake hands with people and all that kind of stuff and raise money the way you used to. Just want to find out how you're dealing with the current struggles with campaigning during this time. Also, along with COVID, we also have the other plague of people trying to get Donald Trump out of the office. No matter what office you're running for, they're gonna find a way that we're gonna if you're running for like dog catcher, they're like, yeah, but if we vote for you for dog catcher, Trump's gonna win. So it's just so ridiculous. People are so brainwashed right now. So just wanted to know if you could share some of your stories from the campaign trail.
My situation is going to sound strange, but in some ways I've benefited from all the crisis. I am I have a disability. I'm in a wheelchair. Um, so the system was somewhat stacked against me to begin with. It's very difficult to go door to door. When you're disabled, there are some states in the union that would allow me to gain ballot access by I had to get 1,100 signatures on a petition to be on the ballot. I could have done that, um, but then the pandemic did hit, and we just didn't feel it was responsible to go to people exchanging pens and paper, asking for signatures, and so we had to go in as a write-in. And that makes this race very difficult. People have to not only remember my name, but the correct office I'm running for. There are two other people running as write-ins for the council and for another office. If they put my name in the wrong office, it doesn't count. But otherwise, it was very difficult for me to attend meetings, to attend rallies, to get to places where they were having debates. Last time I ran in 2012, I couldn't get into the forum where they had the debates, and now everything's on Zoom. So for me, it's become much easier. I participate in all the questionnaires. I've been able to do interviews like this. So in some ways, it's made this easier for me. But in terms of the issues for us, we still have to get past the fact that third parties are discriminated against in this country. When I went to the Elections Commission earlier in the year and asked them to allow us to get petitions signed online, and it made sense because in Indiana you could register online. I requested my absentee ballot online, but they refused to let candidates of a third party get their petition signed online. And so it's these obstacles that we're fighting. Indiana, we're suing for ballot access. We think the requirements for signatures is too high compared to other states. We're trying in 2024 to get ballot access. We have to get 4% of the vote in order to get it. So we're going to work hard on that, which is why this election is so important to me. If I would win, I would be the first third party elected in Indiana, not just the Green Party, but the third party in general. And we need to show that we can do well. And so, yes, in the middle of the night, I'll concede to my wife, yeah, I'm probably not going to win. But what if we did? And what would that say? And what would that say for elections next time around when we get more candidates? So I'm encouraged. I think we've made the best out of a bad situation, and we're working hard.
My apologies to everybody because I know I ran late, but you all have so much great stuff to share about your campaigns because I've seen like this for me. This feels like the most aggressive attack of Greens. It's like every 4 years, not each election cycle so much, but every 4 years, that's when everyone seems to jump on. And 2000, we saw it with all your spoilers, 2004, and then 2008, and then 16 were Russian bots, and 2020, it's like we're funded by Republicans and everything you could think of. And I think it's really important to hear your struggles and to share that with everybody. And what I want to do is sort of start winding down to a closing. So have you all sort of give a closing statement, but also talk about anything that you wanted to share that we didn't have a chance to go through during the question and answers.
Okay, when I first announced, I said that I was not going to fundraise at all, not accept any money, mainly because I felt the people who would support me could not afford to support me. They're suffering through the pandemic. And I suggested either they take care of themselves or a family who's lost their job or about to lose their home. So fundraising has been an issue with me. I also announced that I'm going to run for one term only, on the idea that if I did something really crazy, really made people uncomfortable, they wouldn't even have to try to get me out. I'll voluntarily go home, catch up on my reading, play with my grandkids, and lead a happy life. But the message I think that I would like to present to supporters and to other Green Party candidates is I think we need to promote the Green New Deal more aggressively and differently. I think most people, when they hear Green New Deal, they think environment and they think of the Green Party as being somewhat of a left fringe party. And I think we really need to seriously talk, and I talk about it every day. I post on my Facebook, the jobs component of the Green New Deal. The environmental part of it is important, but also there's a social justice aspect that in my area is very important. Shortly after the Floyd killing, we had an attempted lynching occur in Monroe County, which brought the whole race issue to the forefront. And this community is a community divided now by race. And I think the Green Party, what we have tried to do is be the party where we're trying to lower the temperature and talk to each other, and listen to each other, and not be screaming at each other. And I think if you look at the Green New Deal closely, I think it's the answer to a lot of problems we've had in the past, including race, including equal opportunity. And I think if we would all talk about that more aggressively, I think it would raise our chance of success dramatically. And like I said, I ran this race when I first announced. It was my grandkids that really shook me to the point where I'm saying I can't look at them any longer and not do something. And I've had all my kids agree. I said, when I'm not around, I just want you to tell the grandkids that Grandpa tried. And that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Thank you all for your time, and I really, really want to see you all get elected and in office. And like you said, it's so important to have the Green Party running for office and getting elected to help push those policies to move everything in the direction it should be, because the Democrats aren't doing it. They haven't been doing it for the last 20 years, and their only campaign platform is "we're not the Republicans," and it's just not acceptable now with the way the world is going. So thank you once again, and I hope to talk to you in person one day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for
here. Thank you. I had a good time, and I enjoyed listening to you all, and I thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And if we can all get to the House and get to the Senate and get to our respective office, can you imagine the change that we could make in Washington with us, the people who are on here, and Lisa Savage going to, oh my God, like I think that things could happen. Like we could do some real good in Washington as Greens. So I'm going to be, as a minister, I'm going to be praying for you and myself. And I'm just, thank you so much. It was nice meeting you all.
Good luck to everyone.
Yes, yes. Great meeting you all and hearing from you.
Thank you much.
Okay. See you, everyone.